Hey, my friend, you know that cry that sometimes just leaves your lips in the middle of the night? Yeah, that one, the one you whispered when literally no one else was awake. Guess what? It didn't go unheard. Even before those words made it to your mouth, I felt them rise up from the weight in your chest. You thought you were just crying into empty space, right? But you were actually crying into eternity. You believed you were just letting go of pain into the dark, but you were letting it go right into my hands. See, I'm not some distant observer of your struggles. I'm not a silent bystander, just watching. No, I'm the God who leans in close when you speak, the Father who draws near the very moment your spirit truly breaks open in honesty. And let me tell you this, as surely as the sun keeps rising, heaven has answered. What felt like a delay, that wasn't a denial, it was preparation. And now the veil is lifting. You're about to experience not just comfort, but real clarity. Not just my touch, but my truth. Because, let's be real, there are things you've been living under, mindsets you've picked up or inherited that just weren't for me. You've accepted ceilings as normal when they were never meant to be there. You've let shadows define your sense of self, relationships dictate your value, and silence interpret my heart. But today I'm here to pull you into a confrontation with reality. Not the version of reality shaped by fear or past trauma or how you perform. No, I mean the reality I wrote for you before time even touched your name. You are not what the past made you feel. You are not the sum of your failures. You are not a soul lost in a storm of unanswered questions. You are mine, and I've never stopped pursuing you. Not through your pain, not through your confusion, not even through those years where you couldn't feel me at all. I was there. Not absent, not just passively watching, but actively working in ways your eyes couldn't quite see yet. I've been closer than your very breath, nearer than your thoughts, more present than any emotion you thought had overwhelmed you. And now I'm parting the clouds. I'm exposing those false realities that kept you tied down. I'm revealing the truth that has always been surrounding you, even when it was hidden from your understanding. This is the beginning of your encounter with what is truly real, not something manufactured, manipulated, or shaped by this world, but something born in the unseen realm where I live. The reality of my kingdom is breaking into your perception, and when it does, nothing in your life will stay the same. You've been surviving, coping, adapting. But I didn't create you for just survival. I created you for communion. And real communion? That starts when all pretense just falls away. I'm not looking for the polished version of you. I'm calling out the real you, the one beneath all the defenses, beneath the exhaustion, beneath the performance. You don't need to pretend in my presence. You don't need to hide your questions, your doubts, your weariness. Bring it all to me. Lay it all bare. I'm not shocked by your brokenness. In fact, I'm drawn to it. Not to exploit it, but to heal it. Not to fix you by force, but to restore you with love. So now, I'm telling you, stop shrinking your prayers. Stop explaining away your pain. Stop minimizing what you feel just to make others comfortable. I didn't anoint you to play small. I didn't call you to walk bent over by shame. You've mistaken meekness for invisibility. But I see you. I have always seen you. And the time has come for you to see me. Not through the lens of religion or routine, but in the raw, blazing truth of my spirit. I'm not just the God of the mountaintop. I'm the God of the threshold, the God of the in-between. And I'm standing right now at the door of your heart. Not just knocking, but declaring, I am here. What I'm about to reveal to you won't come through striving. It won't come through performance. It will come through surrender. Lay down the weights. Lay down the masks. Lay down the fear that if you are fully known, you will be fully rejected. I already know you, every layer, every history, every contradiction. And still, I want you, not the future version, not the more mature one. I want you right here, right now, in your current condition. You're not a disappointment I'm waiting to fix. You're a vessel I am awakening. There are rooms in your soul that haven't been opened in years, places you closed off for self-preservation. But I'm gently turning the handle. I'm walking into those memories, into those mindsets, into those secret places where your greatest questions still echo. And I won't enter as a critic. I will enter as a healer. I will walk through the wreckage not with judgment, but with fire in my eyes, because nothing hidden can hold you anymore. I'm uncovering what once oppressed you, not to expose you, but to free you. This is the encounter you've needed, not just a moment of relief, but a transformation of vision. And I say now, child, welcome to the unveiling. Welcome to the reality I always intended for you to see. No more shadows, no more lies, no more bending just to survive. You were made to stand, to shine, to reflect my glory. And that glory begins with this, a simple, radical yes. Say yes to truth. Say yes to the process. Say yes to seeing what's been real all along. Because when I show you who you truly are, when I lift the veil and let you see what has been orchestrated behind the scenes, you will weep, not from sorrow, but from wonder. I have been with you. I have gone before you. And now I am calling you into full awareness. This is your encounter with the reality that never changed, it only waited. I am not just the God who listens, I am the God who responds. And today, heaven answers your cry. Prepare to see differently. Prepare to walk differently. This is the beginning. My dear daughter, you've wondered many times what I truly think about you. In the silence, in those in-between moments when no one's looking, you've quietly asked, do you see me as I am, or only as I should be? You've wrestled with the fear that if I really knew you, if I saw behind the face you show others, behind the strength you wear like armor, I would just turn away. But listen to me now, I see you fully. I have always seen you. Not through the distorted lens of your fears. Not through the judgments of others. Not through the voice of your inner critic. I see you through the eyes of the one who created you. I see you through the lens of love, of truth, of eternity. I see you as you were always meant to be. Whole, radiant, sacred, beloved. You've been walking with a weight that I never asked you to carry. You've been trying to be strong for everyone, to hold it all together, to be enough for every demand. But I didn't call you to be everything. I called you to be mine. You're not defined by what you produce. You're not valued by how well you perform. You're not loved because you keep it together. You're loved because I formed you in love, and I will never unlove you. Even in your most fragile moments, even when you feel like a shadow of yourself, I remain unwavering in my affection for you. You don't earn my nearness. You live from it. Let me speak clearly to your heart. I am not disappointed in you. Disappointment implies I expected something different and was surprised. But I know the end from the beginning. I knew your journey before you took your first breath. I knew where you would rise and where you would stumble. I knew the seasons when your fire would burn brightly and the ones where even a spark felt impossible. I haven't been watching you with arms crossed. I've been walking beside you, upholding you when you couldn't feel me, speaking to your spirit when your soul was too tired to listen. I have been investing in you from the very beginning. I have been protecting what's real in you even when all the noise around you tried to define you by lies. You're not too late. You're not too much. You're not forgotten, and you're not alone. I see how you fought to believe again. I see how you've kept praying even when it felt like no answer would come. I see how you've held on, not because you felt strong, but because something in you, something deeper than pain, refused to give up. That something is me. I placed that endurance in you. I placed that flicker of faith that kept glowing, even in the winds of fear. You've wondered if I still see you. You've cried, wondering if I still care. And here is my answer, yes, absolutely, entirely, eternally, yes. Now, I ask you not to fix yourself, not to strive for approval, but to come close, to sit with me in the quiet, to bring me your real self, the part that's still confused, still aching, still unsure. I want all of it, not because I need perfection, but because I want communion. I want nearness. I want to speak into the spaces you thought were too complicated for healing. You don't need to find the right words, you only need to show up. My presence isn't reserved for the powerful or the polished. It's for the honest. It's for the weary. It is for you. You've been asking me what I think of you, so let me tell you again without hesitation, I delight in you. Not in what you do for me, but in who you are to me. I rejoice over you. Even now, I smile at the sound of your voice. When you wake up in the morning and feel unworthy, I am already waiting to remind you that my love isn't based on your performance, it's based on my promise. And my promise is sure. My word doesn't change. And my word over you is this: you are mine. Deeply, irrevocably, forever mine. I call you into rest. Not laziness, not passivity, but rest, the kind that comes from knowing you don't have to be God. The kind that lifts the burden of having to fix yourself. The kind that knows grace isn't just an idea, it's a daily reality. Come, rest in me. Stop measuring your progress by the reactions of others. Stop doubting your value based on how much you feel. Rest in the fact that my eyes are on you and they are filled with compassion, not condemnation. Let me also gently call your attention to the way you see yourself. The words you speak over your mind, your body, your soul, they matter. You've repeated phrases in your head that don't come from me. You've looked in the mirror and agreed with voices that were never mine. But I am rewiring that internal dialogue. I am reteaching your heart to speak truth. I call you beautiful not as a compliment, but as a fact rooted in creation. I call you capable not because you have all the answers, but because I am your strength. I call you worthy not because you earned it, but because I chose you and my choice is final. Walk with me now into a season of deeper alignment, not through pressure, but through peace. You don't need to shout to be heard by me, you only need to breathe. Let your soul remember that I'm not out there, distant and waiting. I'm here, dwelling within, speaking even in your silence. Come talk to me, not to perform a ritual, but to reconnect with reality. My voice is still. My hand is steady. My heart is open, and I am waiting. You don't have to pretend anymore. You don't have to carry everything alone. I am here, daughter, and I'm not going anywhere. Stay with me, trust me, and let me be the one who reintroduces you to yourself, the way I've always seen you. My son, I know the weight you carry. Not just in your body or your thoughts, but in that deepest place where pain hides behind silence, where disappointment builds walls, where sorrow becomes familiar. You've walked through valleys no one truly saw, survived moments you never fully spoke about, and endured seasons where it seemed I was absent. But I was never absent. I was in the ache. I was in the questions. I was in that stretch of silence where your soul waited for something, anything that looked like relief. And though you may not yet understand why some things unfolded the way they did, I now invite you to see through my eyes, to see the purpose within the pain. Not to glorify the wound, but to redeem it. The pain didn't come from me, but I permitted it. Not because I enjoy watching you suffer, but because I knew what it would awaken in you. You prayed for depth. You asked to know me in ways you never had before. You longed for unshakable faith, for a heart that could discern truth in any storm. And I knew what that would require. Not just teaching, but transformation. And transformation rarely happens in comfort. It happens when you are stripped of every false support, when the voices you once trusted fall silent, when you are forced to face yourself and find that even in the absence of clarity, I am still there. Pain is not a punishment. It is a passage. And through that passage, I have led you not aimlessly, but intentionally. You have learned to recognize me in the dark. You have learned that I am not a seasonal voice, but a present shepherd. You have learned that when your strength ends, mine begins. And though the breaking felt like betrayal, it was the answer to a higher prayer, the cry of your spirit asking to be made whole. I didn't cause your pain, but I refused to waste it. Every tear that fell, I caught. Every night you collapsed, I hovered near. Every time you said, God, I can't do this anymore, I whispered, but I will carry you. I know the heartbreaks that still echo. I know the rejection that left you questioning your value. I know the delay that made you feel forgotten. But son, the delay was not denial, it was protection. There were things you asked for that would have satisfied your need for validation but sabotaged your identity. There were doors you wanted to walk through that looked like blessing but would have led you away from my heart. I saw what you couldn't. And while you grieved what didn't happen, I was rejoicing over what didn't destroy you. You think of pain as what was lost. I see pain as what was removed, revealed, refined. You think the wilderness stole your time. I say the wilderness gave you roots. You must understand there are two kinds of pain, the pain that wounds and the pain that wakes. The pain you walked through? It woke you up. It stirred your spirit. It exposed the lies that had grown quietly over the years. Lies about your worth, about your identity, about how loved you are. When you cried, why did this happen to me? I heard the deeper question, who am I now? And my answer remains steady and true. You are mine. Not less than before. Not damaged. But deeper, wiser, stronger. Not because you resisted pain, but because you walked through it with me. I allowed the pressure because I saw the gold in you, and gold is not revealed in ease. It is revealed in fire. But hear me, you are not meant to live in pain. I am not the God who leaves you in the valley. I am the God who walks you through it. And now you are coming out. But you're not coming out empty-handed. You are coming out with authority. You are coming out with compassion for others' pain. You are coming out with eyes that see differently, ears that hear my voice even in silence, and a heart that no longer bows to fear. The very things that tried to break you are the things I am using to build you. Even my son, Jesus, walked through a garden of agony. Even he asked if there was another way. But he trusted me, and from his pain came the redemption of all. Do you see? I do not waste suffering. I use it to shape resurrection. And that is what I'm doing in you. You are not being buried, you are being planted. and what is planted in tears will rise in glory. I will bring beauty from your ashes, strength from your weakness, and joy from your mourning. But first, I needed you to see that the wound was not the end, it was the doorway. I have seen how you tried to carry it all yourself, how you kept smiling while your soul bled quietly, how you showed up for others while wondering if anyone would ever show up for you. I saw it. I felt it. And I'm not angry with you for coping the way you did. I'm proud that you survived. But now I say, you don't need to survive anymore. You can heal now. You can breathe now. You can let go of the armor. You are safe in my hands. Let me speak to your pain, not as a distant God, but as the one who walked with you through every single moment. I was there when the door closed. I was there when the betrayal came. I was there when your body failed you. I was there when the answer didn't come. And I was not silent because I didn't care. I was silent because I was working deeply, patiently, powerfully. And now that work is bearing fruit. Now that pain is becoming a testimony. Now that valley is becoming a riverbed for my glory. You will not carry the same weight anymore. I am lifting it. I am healing not just your memory, but your meaning. What once defined you in weakness will now declare your strength. What once whispered failure will now proclaim faithfulness. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where pain gives way to power. So come closer, son. Not with your walls, not with your filters. Come raw. Come honest. Come empty if you must. I am here and I am enough. And from this pain, I will raise a life more whole than you thought possible. My child, now that the weight has lifted and the veil has torn, you are ready to hear not just words of comfort, but declarations of what is unfolding in the spirit. You have endured with faith. You have wept in silence. You have remained in the space between pain and hope. And because of that, I now speak to you with divine certainty. The heavens have responded. I am not only comforting you, I am moving. I am not only speaking, I am fulfilling. This is not the beginning of a waiting season. This is the beginning of manifestation. You've asked me, is anything really changing? And I now say to you, yes. Not just around you, but within you, beneath you, through you. The soil of your life, which once felt dry and abandoned, is now responding to my voice. What seemed buried is rising. What appeared lost is returning. The spiritual climate around you is shifting, even if your senses haven't fully caught up. Don't be discouraged by what your natural eyes still see. Listen instead to what your spirit knows. I am faithful. I am here. I am doing exactly what I promised. You are not forgotten. You were never ignored. I didn't delay out of neglect, but out of precision. There were things I needed to prepare, not just around you, but inside of you, before I could entrust you with what is now on its way. You have passed through fire, and though it burned, it did not consume you. It refined you. You were tested, and though you trembled, you did not fall. You held on, not with perfect strength, but with enduring surrender. And that surrender has reached heaven like incense. That trust has unlocked doors you cannot yet see, but you will. Pay attention now, child, to the signs. For I am not only a God of the unseen, I am the God who confirms what I speak. The atmosphere around you is carrying subtle markers of my movement. You will notice peace where anxiety once ruled. You will encounter unexpected encouragement, words from strangers, moments that seem orchestrated, divine timing you could not manufacture. These are not coincidences, these are confirmations. I am sending signs in dreams, through scripture, in conversations, even in the timing of interruptions. Do not brush them aside. They are glimpses of what is being prepared for you behind the veil. You will begin to notice changes in your relationships. I am reordering the people around you. Those who once pulled you backward will be gently removed, and those who are aligned with your niche and purpose will be drawn to you. This will not happen through your striving, but through my spirit. You don't need to chase what I'm sending you. You only need to stay close to me. I am bringing divine connections, those who carry the next piece of the assignment, those who will walk with you without asking you to shrink. These are not distractions, they are alignments. Receive them with discernment. My promises are not empty echoes, they are living realities waiting for the right moment to break into time. And I tell you now, some of those moments have come. Do not be surprised when doors open where you saw none. Do not question your worthiness when provision arrives faster than expected. This is not luck. This is not random. This is the reward of obedience. I saw what you gave up. I saw what you laid down. I saw how you stayed when walking away would have been easier. And now I release what was held back until you were ready. Even now, I'm awakening promises you forgot you carried. There are dreams you tucked away, thinking the time had passed. But I'm outside of time. What felt too late is right on schedule in my hands. I'm breathing new life into visions you once buried. You will feel the stirring again, the passion you thought had died. Don't resist it, let it rise. That was me. I placed it there, and I kept it hidden not to torment you, but to protect what wasn't ready to grow until now. Watch also for the internal signs. Your desires will begin to shift. You'll feel a holy discontent for things that once satisfied. You'll hunger for deeper things. You'll sense when it's time to move, to speak, to act, and it won't come from pressure, but from peace. That peace will be your compass. Follow it. Don't try to understand everything in advance. Obey as you go. I'll confirm each step as you take it. My voice will come with clarity. My spirit will lead with precision. This is also a time of restoration, not only of purpose, but of joy. I am restoring your ability to dream without fear, to hope without hesitation, to love without guardedness. You have been surviving for long enough. Now, I am bringing you into abundance, not just financially, but emotionally, relationally, spiritually. You will look around and see fruit where there used to be only dust. You will wake up and feel expectation again. You will remember what it means to be fully alive, not because circumstances are perfect, but because your spirit is aligned with mine. So write this down. Hold this word close. Let it anchor you, because though things are beginning to shift, the enemy will still try to whisper doubt. But you will know better now. You will look at the signs, remember the promises, feel the witness of my spirit, and say, He already told me this was coming. And you will not be shaken, because my word does not return void. My timing is flawless, and my plans for you are not barely enough. They are beyond what you've dared to ask. Child, the heavens have responded. What was locked is now opening. What was invisible is now unfolding. And you will walk in it with eyes wide open, spirit fully awake, and heart fully mine. My child, you have heard my promises, sensed the shift, and felt the stirrings in your spirit. Now I call you to act, not out of striving, but out of agreement. Faith isn't an abstract feeling or just an emotional moment. Faith is a posture, a path, a practice. It's what you choose when your senses are quiet and your questions are loud. It's the decision to walk as though what I said is already real even before the evidence has appeared. What I am unfolding in your life now cannot be sustained by passive belief. It must be matched with active obedience. So let me show you what faith looks like in your everyday life. First, begin each day by centering yourself in me. Before you reach for your phone, your schedule, your to-do list, reach for me. Come to me with a simple prayer, even just a whisper, Lord, lead me today. That moment of surrender sets the tone for your day. You don't need to start with perfection. Start with attention. Invite me into the beginning, and you will feel me throughout the middle. One intentional breath with me is more powerful than 1,000 distracted steps. Make time for the word, not as a task, but as nourishment. Don't read to check off a box. Read to encounter me. Let my words become your thoughts. Let my truth become your default. You've spent years being shaped by opinions, assumptions, and fears. Now I am reshaping you with truth. You don't need to devour entire chapters in one sitting. Read a single verse and ask me to speak through it. Pause. Meditate. Wait. I will. I am not silent. I'm speaking. You only need to slow down long enough to hear. Develop a lifestyle of listening. Faith isn't just speaking to me, it's learning to hear me. My voice may not always sound like thunder. Often, it sounds like a nudge, a thought wrapped in peace, a phrase that won't leave you. Don't rush past those moments. Train yourself to notice. Ask me questions. Learn to sit in silence without needing immediate answers. You will be amazed at how much clarity you begin to receive when you give me space to respond. Guard your atmosphere. What you surround yourself with either feeds your spirit or starves it. Faith grows in environments of presence, not pressure. Turn down the volume of the world. Be mindful of the voices you allow to shape your thoughts, the news you consume, the conversations you entertain, the media you absorb. I'm not calling you to isolation, but to discernment. Learn to recognize when something drains your spirit or distracts your focus. Protect your peace. Not everyone and not everything deserves your attention. What you feed grows. Feed your faith. Be intentional with your words. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Not because of superstition, but because I designed words to carry creative force. Stop speaking as if your future is uncertain. Declare what I have already revealed. Speak hope when fear tries to take root. Bless your day with your mouth. Bless your family. Bless your work. Declare that I am with you even when emotions say otherwise. When you agree with what I've said, you partner with heaven, and heaven moves through agreement. Honor your body. I created it to be a temple, not a machine. Rest when you need to rest. Eat what brings life. Move to release stress. You are not spiritual just in your prayers. You are spiritual in how you care for what I've entrusted to you. You cannot run on empty and expect revelation to flow freely. Make room for joy, for margin, for rest that is holy, not lazy. This too is an act of faith, to believe I can do more with your obedience than you can with your exhaustion. Walk in forgiveness. This may be the hardest, but it is one of the clearest demonstrations of mature faith. Holding on to offense creates spiritual noise. It clouds your hearing and poisons your joy. I am not asking you to ignore the pain, I'm asking you to surrender it. Release the debt others owe you, not because they deserve it, but because you do. You deserve freedom. And when you forgive, you mirror me. That reflection breaks chains, not only in your life, but in the lives around you. Give. Faith expresses itself in generosity. Not just with money, but with time, attention, compassion. Give when it's inconvenient. Give when it doesn't seem to make sense. Not out of guilt, but out of overflow. I have not called you to be a reservoir, I've called you to be a river. And rivers flow. As you give, I will replenish. As you pour, I will fill. You cannot outgive me. Obey the small promptings. Sometimes faith is not a grand decision, it's a quiet yes in the middle of your routine. When you feel me telling you to call someone, do it. When you feel the nudge to pray, respond. When I ask you to release something you've clung to, let go. These small obediences shape your life more than you realize. Faith isn't always seen in leaps, it is most often lived in steps. Live with expectation. Not anxiety, not control. Expectation. Trust that I am working even when you cannot see it. Celebrate the small breakthroughs. Notice the progress. Keep a journal of the things I've done, the prayers I've answered, the whispers I've spoken. These reminders will anchor you when the next storm comes. And storms will come. But this time you won't be shaken because your faith is rooted not in what changes, but in who doesn't. This is how you live faith, consistently, quietly, courageously. You don't need to impress me. You don't need to prove yourself. You only need to walk with me, step by step, day by day, moment by moment. I am not far. I am here, and I'm ready to walk this with you, not occasionally, but constantly. This is the life of a child who believes, anchored in truth, led by peace, moved by love, and sustained by presence. And this is who you are now, my beloved. I have watched you live beneath your inheritance for too long. You've settled for survival when I called you to walk in sonship. You've spoken words about yourself that I never spoke. You've allowed experiences to define your worth and disappointments to rewrite your name. But today, I come not just to remind you who you are, I come to restore you back to the original design. Not the image you've tried to maintain, not the version shaped by pain or performance. No, the original, crafted in love, filled with purpose, wrapped in light. You are not what happened to you. You are not your failure. You are not your sin. You are not your trauma. You are not your confusion. I don't look at you and see a mistake trying to get better. I look at you and see my child redeemed, chosen, equipped, and called. You've confused your condition for your identity. Because the storm lasted so long, you started to believe the weather was part of you. But the storm was never your name. The pain was never your truth. The silence was never your label. You have wrestled with insecurity, with the constant need to prove your value. You've tried to earn love through achievement. You've waited to be picked, noticed, chosen. But I chose you before anyone had the chance to reject you. I loved you before you had a chance to perform. I set my eyes on you, and I have never looked away. When you doubted your worth, I whispered truth. When you spoke against yourself, I spoke over you, and I have never stopped. Let me say it clearly, you are not hard to love. You are not too much. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not late. You are exactly where I knew you would be, and I am not surprised by your journey. I am proud of how you've stayed open when it was easier to shut down. I see how you've tried to heal while still helping others. I see how you've carried burdens in silence so others wouldn't feel yours. But you don't need to carry that anymore. I'm not asking you to be strong. I'm asking you to be honest, because it's in the honesty that I pour out healing. And in that healing, I restore who you are. You are not an orphan. You are not a stranger. You are not disqualified. You are mine, and not a watered-down version of mine. Fully mine. Completely. Eternally. The cross wasn't a general invitation, it was a personal rescue. When my son gave himself, he saw your face. He said your name. He counted your days. And he made a way for you to walk as royalty, not as a beggar trying to earn what is already yours. I have placed authority in you. You've been afraid to speak boldly, afraid to be misunderstood. You've played small to keep others comfortable. But I didn't give you a spirit of fear. I gave you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. You don't need to shrink. You don't need to hide. You don't need to adapt to atmospheres that don't carry my truth. You shift atmospheres. That's what identity does. It carries weight. You are worthy of love that stays, not because of what you offer, but because of who you are. You are worthy of rest, not because you finished the list, but because you are mine. You are worthy of hope, not because you earned it, but because hope is your inheritance. Stop disqualifying yourself. Stop echoing the lies that were once spoken over you. You're not the sum of what they said. You are the reflection of what I declared. And I declared very good. I am healing your memory, not by erasing the past, but by removing its power to name you. What you walked through hurt. I don't minimize that, but it will no longer define you. The labels that came from pain, not enough, too broken, unworthy, forgotten, I'm stripping them away. They were never mine. And I will teach you to speak again, to declare who you are, even when it feels foreign, because truth isn't always familiar at first, but it's always right. So say it with me, I'm chosen. I'm clean. I'm whole. I'm wanted. I'm not what I did. I'm not what was done to me. I'm a child of God. Every time you declare that, the grip of old lies weakens. Every time you walk in that truth, your posture shifts. This is not pretend. This is who you are. The healing you feel? It's not just comfort, it's restoration. I'm bringing you back to the original blueprint, not the broken version the world handed you, but the divine version I imagined before the foundation of the world. You'll start to feel it in your choices. You'll no longer settle for relationships that devalue your calling. You'll say no to things you once tolerated.